I'm not going to keep this hat on for long because it won't fit my headphones. And my arms are already getting tired.
Mary Robinson.
She answered the question. She said no, so then I went, okay.
And Phil Tremblay.
Nebraska could disappear off the face of the earth, and it would not affect me any.
Grab a seat because the show starts right now.
Friday.
It's Friday. It's wet. It's a wet Friday
It is a
in Calgary.
very wet Friday.
I'm mad.
I'm
in shorts.
Again.
Shock and awe.
I'm very cold. Welcome back to Coast to Coast.
Don't wear shorts. Welcome back to Coast to Coast. I've got a double show day today that I'm pretty excited about. We're doing this live right now. It's 10:37 a.m. on Friday. By the time this gets uploaded to YouTube, I'll probably be on stage tonight with Retcon.
I don't know. It's up fairly quick on Wednesday.
Yeah.
What time do you go on stage?
8 p.m.
Yeah, it was up by like 6.
Oh, well.
On Wednesday.
I'll be at the venue.
So hopefully if
I'll be
it's...
at the venue. You know what I meant. I was trying to be fun. Okay.
No worries. The Hurricanes are out.
Yeah, goodbye Carolina. It took 2 more games than we expected. Obviously, we had the broom out 2 games ago, and I thought they were going to be golfing. But
We had the broom out. Sure.
You guys agreed.
I mean, it was sweep watch. They did need to bring it
watch.
up.
I don't know if I agree with the sweep.
No, I still said Rangers in 6. I think.
Fair enough.
I'd have to go into the archives.
And I guess you nailed that. Speaking of sweeps, we have another very exciting sweep that we will get to later on after we talk about what's going on in the Stanley Cup playoffs, Alex.
All remaining series are 3-2. Let's start with most recently last night. And
Carolina just choked away their season.
That was so brutal.
yeah.
Chris Kreider with a hat trick to help eliminate the Carolina Hurricanes. And if you watch that game, there was a kid that was crying. And I read a quote on Twitter is that kid will now hate Chris Kreider for the rest of his life.
Martinook doing what he can to keep the Hurricanes in the series after a goal line save was unreal.
Sebastian, I remember I was watching it. I had a delivery at work, so I went into work. I was just watching the TV. It was 3-2 at that point. Sebastian Aho is all in alone on Shesterkin and just shanks it past the post. Wide. So they had their they had their chances in the game. I think Rangers really just kind of caught fire and just ran with it. Especially Chris Kreider, a third period hat trick to help send the New York Rangers. I think I may be wrong, but is he the longest? He's been on the Rangers team the longest on this current team.
Probably.
Obviously not all time, but
yeah.
I don't think he's been with anyone else.
He was there before Panarin, Trocheck, Fox. Zibanejad was a Sen.
Yeah. So yeah.
He's got to be the oldest one.
Good for him, helping.
No Rempe on the ice though, unfortunately.
Which, I imagine he's going to get used a lot more in the conference final, regardless of who makes it. Oh yeah, because
that's Rempe versus Tkachuk or Rempe versus Marchand.
Ooh, Rempe versus Tkachuk. Either of those matchups would be.
I would agree.
I just think he's more useful because of that more physical style from pick Boston or Florida.
Yeah, but
Carolina's not really that kind of team.
Yeah, fair enough.
So with Carolina being eliminated, they have really are in a lot of trouble in terms of UFAs and RFAs as well as their coach not being signed.
I don't think trouble is the right word.
I would say trouble is the right word.
I think there is a lot of potential here because you sent the group chat a Puck Empire post from Elliot Friedman that said they're likely not pursuing Martin Necas and
which I think is a terrible idea.
And Brett Pesce.
I think Martin Necas, he's 25 years old. He's coming off a great season, I believe. Let me double check his stats.
He's an unreal addition to any fantasy team.
Yeah, I know. You didn't trade him to me.
Nope, I did not.
24 goals, 29 assists, 53 points in 77 games.
That is points. That's
really, really good player.
Took a step back from last year in points, but honestly, he played very well for Carolina. He's been with the team since 2017, 2018. So not resigning him it'll be interesting. This just proves that this offseason is going to get crazy as some notable names that are either restricted free agents or unrestricted free agents is 22-year-old Seth Jarvis is a restricted free agent. Jake Gensel, 29-year-old UFA.
They're resigning him.
They
should resign.
They're resigning him.
Tino Teravainen, Stefan Nosen, Martin Hook, but we all know. Brett Pesce, Brady Skjei. Shea. That's a weird way to say it.
Antti-Ranta. Isn't Antti-Ranta like pretty good?
Where is he?
He's a solid backup, but he's.
I don't see.
Where
him.
are you seeing Ranta?
I see 3 goalies: and Anderson, Kachekov, and Martin Spencer.
Oh, he's
Spencer Martin.
He's on their.
IR.
Yeah, he's on their non-roster. He's. I imagine he's probably with the
He's 35.
Canes.
AHL team.
Don't have an AHL team.
Right.
Yeah,
Hey,
they're
Ty
the ones that
Smith.
don't have it.
Yeah, so he's just a
Oh,
non-roster.
hey, Ty Smith. Oh, right, that's weird.
Oh, hey.
I forgot. There's a weird.
Smith.
Which in that. Oh, what you guys are gonna? Count into one.
Junior.
Former Penguin.
Well, with Carolina not making the Stanley Cup Finals, that officially closes the trade, the Gensel trade with Pittsburgh, as if there was as if Carolina made the finals, Pittsburgh would get Carolina's number 1 or first round draft pick. But obviously, since they didn't make it, the trade is officially done.
That's a crazy trade. That's like, does that happen very often where it's like that complicated?
Oh, absolutely.
You want to make it a little
Wow.
bit more complicated?
No.
Well, because Ty Smith was in that trade, and since he's an AHL player, Carolina doesn't have an AHL team. So when he had to, who he has to go back to is the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Penguins. So he played for the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Penguins, but was on Carolina.
Assigned to but
It was it's a very funny situation,
It's
but
kind of wild.
yeah, I think this offseason is going to be good for a lot of reasons, for signings, for free agents. I doubt Carolina lets Jarvis go. He's a young guy who's been playing very, very good. I'm surprised they're letting Nichis go. I would agree with you guys. I think Carolina does stick with Gensel and they re-sign him. So
Yeah.
it's going to be an interesting offseason, I think, with a lot of teams needing to sign extensions to certain players and a lot of players that are going to be on new teams.
Speaking of teams, New York Rangers into the Eastern Conference Finals. They will face either Florida or Boston, as we said. So we'll have a Rempe versus Tkachuk or a Rempe versus Marchand. They gonna fight?
No.
Full on?
Kachuk maybe.
Yeah,
Marchand, no.
Kachuk's not really a fighter.
Kachuk is a fighter. He fought Pasternak. I get his Pasternak. I learned that's one of the most expensive fights in the NHL by salary.
Oh yeah,
Just
that
because
makes
of
sense.
Pasternak? Because Rempe makes...
No, I'm saying.
No,
between
Rempe and Kachuk. He's saying.
Pasternak.
Oh.
Or sorry, yeah, Kachuk and Pasternak.
Oh, yeah, Tkachuk. That makes sense.
It was on either. I can't remember if it was on SportsNet or SportsCentre, but I wish I could find it again because it was like the top 5 like most expensive fights in the NHL, and it was actually just really interesting.
That's
because you don't really think about salary
Yeah, that is good.
in terms of fighting.
See if they make as much money combined as Conor McGregor. At this point, all 3 of the series that are remaining have the potential to go to Game 7. Obviously, Florida-Boston 3-2, Vancouver-Edmonton 3-2, Dallas-Colorado 3-2. Do we think all 3 are going to go to 7?
So let's focus on tonight first. Florida's in Boston, and
Dallas is in
in Colorado.
Which you want to say on the East?
Yeah, let's take the first game first. Ironically,
So
Panthers and Bruins. I think this is going 7. I think it's going 7. Apparently, Marchand's going to be a game time decision tonight. If he makes it, I think this goes 7. As far as who wins the series, I don't know.
I think Boston is going to need some players to step up that aren't named Jeremy Swayman. I think.
Especially if Marchand's not playing.
Yeah, for sure. I think they can't be relying on Pasta as much as they are. They're going to need the help from McAvoy. They're going to need DeBrusk to come back. I think they're going to need
Yeah, their depth needs to.
Zaka and Coyle's been pretty good this season,
Yeah.
this series. But Zaka really needs to step his game up. I really like the way Boston's younger players have been playing in this series. Lorai, he's a defenseman, I believe.
Yep.
And there was I can't remember his name, but he's numbered 94 for Boston. He has been playing very well for them as well.
Why am I thinking Lauko?
I think it is Lauko. Let me-
Well, you kind of figured that out.
Yeah, it is Lauko.
Lauko?
He's been playing very good for them, and their young guns are helping a lot. I think that's going to be a main reason, but then you got to deal with playoff for Hagee, Reinhart, Kachuk, and if Bobrovsky's going to play, well, the past 2 games, goaltending has been a very strong suit for both teams, as the games have been very close.
Except for the 6-2 and
that's
the
why I said
6-1
the last.
and the 5-1.
That's why I said the last 2 games.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
But yeah,
What do you guys think about tonight?
I think Florida wraps it up, unfortunately.
You think Florida wraps it
even
up?
though the rookies are and all that stuff with Boston, I think with or without Marchand, I think Florida will close it tonight.
I think I have to agree with Merrick, actually.
Okay.
I think Florida's, as much as I'd love to see Florida do it at home, because I think Florida's going to win the series.
I don't think it's going to be a blowout, though. I think it'll be like a 2-1 game.
Like a narrow
overtime.
That might make overtime, that might not.
3-2 overtime.
And moving on to a later game tonight, Dallas and Colorado. Dallas holding a 3-2 lead over Colorado, going back to Colorado.
I just closed my tab.
And I believe Colorado lost both home games this series so far.
I think
Yes.
I think Dallas can wrap it up tonight.
Yeah. I think even looking at last game, the 5-3 win, yes, you won, but you're missing Dutchyshen. You just got Taze back, but it wasn't even a dominant win. Like it was 2 goal. Like you went up 4-2. It was 4-3. Then you scored to make it 5-3. Right? I just don't think. I think it's too close for how spread apart this team's depth and core is right now. To not give it to Dallas for this game.
I'm going to go exciting.
You're saying this one's going 7?
I'm going to say this one's going 7 as well.
Fair enough.
That's my playoff bracket, so I'm slightly more in an analytical perspective than cheering for Dallas anymore.
I always believe the most dangerous dog is the one that's backed up against the wall.
Yeah.
And
especially when it's Colorado.
yeah, McKinnon and company.
Yeah.
I would struggle to bet against them in this scenario. I think it's going 7 as well.
I just have no idea. Like
Andre
all
needs
these are
to play.
so crazy.
Andre needs to play this game. I think last game that Kale McCarr goal, he passed it into the net. It was a nice tape pass to the back of the net. I think if Andre plays a lot better than last game, I think that's a done deal.
Yeah, I don't know. This one and the Vancouver-Edmonton one, man, I got no clue.
Well, I think that's a good segue.
Yeah, getting to Vancouver-Edmonton tomorrow.
Wow, what a game last night.
What a game last night. 40 seconds left.
Almost went to overtime.
JT Miller heartbreaker. Surprised he didn't do the. He should have done it.
And you were saying you were calling this one from the blue line at work.
I did see this one coming. I didn't see it coming the way it came. I thought I didn't think it was going to come off for the rebound. I thought it was going to go find its way.
If it went in the first time, it would have hit it would not have been a goal. It kicked it. I don't know who kicked it, but he kicked it off the post to Miller, and then Miller scored.
Oh, it was a rebound off the post.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And just want to make a shout out to suspension boy Carson Soucy comes back and pots one.
Oh, he's lucky he got out of that game alive. I kind of mentioned that.
Also,
last week.
Most shocking thing, arguably in this game, is Edmonton went 0 for 5 on the power play.
That is actually quite. I didn't even
For
realize
Edmonton
that was the
Oilers,
stat.
that is a
nuts.
shock. That's the
that
first
is-
time this playoffs that they have not scored a power play goal.
That's pretty brutal because obviously we know that power play unit is pretty dominant. But like at work, we have an air horn that's connected behind the bar. There's a little button.
Sure.
And we use it mostly for Flames game, obviously, but for the Canadian teams, we're doing it for both Canadian teams that are still in.
And just every goal in the series.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I saw it coming from Vancouver's defensive zone, and I was like, this looks dangerous, even though there's only 40 seconds. So I like went and got ready to pull that thing.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then I saw it go in, and I was like, "Pooh!" It was
Not a lot
awesome.
of-
I nailed it. It was great.
Not a lot of big name players besides Miller that scored here. You have Kane, Susi,
Oh, yeah, Kane's not a big
Janmark,
name, is
and
it?
Philip
No one knows Kane.
G. Giuseppe.
Just coming
That's-
back
that's
after
the
his,
best
after his
name.
son was born.
I love that name.
That's twice then in these playoffs. That's the player's done that. First player being Brandon Carlo, who legit in that Florida game had his son, and then that same day flew to Florida and then scored a goal. That was in game 1.
That's pretty sweet. Like I think Carson Soucy's lucky to be alive after that game.
I think
Like,
I don't know how the Edmonton locker room views it.
well, I mean, if you're
Because they might go after Zadorov harder than they went after Susi because
feel like
Zadorov got fined rather than suspended.
well, if
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
looking at like hits, Vancouver almost had double. They
Yeah.
had 41 hits to Edmonton's 23.
that's just kind of how Vancouver plays, I think, though.
True.
But Zadorov is a lot more dangerous to go after, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zadorov is a little bit more of an intimidating figure when you're looking to go out and get a little bit of revenge. Because,
Do you feel
he's
that
big.
You feel like Edmonton should have done what the Leafs did and not and kind of brought like Reeves and Domi and Bertuzzi in, kind of like the rough and tough guys. Obviously Bertuzzi is a little bit different because he's rough and tough, but he also is a goal scorer. But, like, would Edmonton benefit from having like a Ryan Reeves?
No.
Like,
Not even
like
like
Evander Kane?
or Corey Perry.
That's more or less, yeah, that's more or less Kane's and Perry's role is that kind of grit, sandpaper.
I just like Evander Kane gets every time he's playing in the playoffs, he just gets like made fun of for
Well,
gambling or something.
Holloway with 4 hits in that game. People know who he is.
Dylan Holloway.
Connor McDavid had more hits than CeCe did, and more hits than Nurse did, and more hits than
I also just wanna-
Perry did,
I also
and
want
more
this-
hits than Kane did. So McDavid's doing
I also
Kane
want to
and
just
Perry's job
highlight,
better than Kane and
I
Perry.
want to highlight the second period in the Edmonton Vancouver game. Edmonton had 4 shots. Vancouver had 17 in the second period alone.
I think moving to Picard was a great call for Edmonton. Even though, obviously he dropped this game, he's putting up
He didn't drop it,
9.14. Well, he lost. He lost.
Can't
the
blame
game,
it
that's
all
what
on
I mean.
him.
But he faced 17 shots in
Yeah.
the second period, right? I think that was a good call from the Edmonton.
I think
control room.
I think in game 4, so not this game, the game before. I think Edmonton played a lot better defensively, knowing that Pickard was in net.
Yeah.
I think that was a big kind of turning point, was that they were kind of leaving Skinner to dry out a little bit.
Yeah.
And then once Pickard was put in there, they were like, okay, now we gotta. I think it's having that little mindset of, okay, this isn't our number 1 goalie.
It's kind of similar to what we saw happen with the Canucks when Demko went out, and then when DeSmith went out. All of a sudden they had to play much better because they couldn't rely on this all-star in Demko.
Yeah. For
Well, they can
Edmonton,
now they can rely on Sylov.
Yeah.
For Edmonton, it's definitely a confidence thing, I think. I don't know if it's Skinner's confidence alone or if it's just the team's confidence in front of him. But I completely agree with you that it was a good switch to Pickard going into the back half of the series.
Yeah, just let him sit for a little bit. And you know what? If we make it, I don't want to say we because it's Edmonton. I'm not really cheering for either side here. If Edmonton makes it to the next round, then maybe throw him a game or something.
The 2 games he started, and he's only allowed a combined 5 goals between the 2 games. Looking at 3 games, then Skinner, he's allowed 8 and he's allowed 8 and 11.
11 goals.
11 goals in 3 games. 2
Versus
Calvin Pickard's 5 and 2.
So
Pretty equal.
worthwhile noting
And
on
then he needs to let in 6 in the next game to catch up.
worthwhile noting on how this series can end. In the Andrei Kuzmenko Flames and Canucks trade, that's at Lindholm the other way. The 4th pick that Vancouver gave Calgary is a conditional 4th round pick. The 4th round pick becomes a 3rd if Vancouver makes it to the conference finals.
Oh, so it was relatively same as the Gensel trade.
Yeah.
In that sort of sense. Just one team.
If the pick remains a 4th, Calgary will receive the better of 2 picks that Vancouver currently owns, either Vancouver's or the one they got from New Jersey.
So now that we're seeing, we can tie it back to Flames a little bit now. Now you brought it up. Now that we're seeing Mr. Lindholm playing in playoffs. I know there was a lot of conversation, at least in the Flames echo chamber, that with Andrei Kuzmenko we won the trade. I still think that's not. I think it's pretty even. I think Kuzmenko did an amazing job for the Flames in the last half of the season. But now we're seeing Lindholm, who has 9 points in 11 playoff games. I think if we had Lindholm still in the Flames and we were looking to make a deep playoff run, we'd be expecting Lindholm to do bigger numbers than that.
I think that's not your main point, though. I think if you're Vancouver, you're looking at what is my $12 million man, Elias Pettersson, doing? He has been arguably invisible on the ice, as I believe Elias Pettersson. I think he only has I don't know, 4 points in the playoffs.
The battle of the Eliases.
He has 5 points in the playoffs, 11 games played, 1 goal, 4 assists. You're paying him $12 million. He needs to wake up.
Yeah, that's fair.
It doesn't. Cool. Your team's playing good. Quinn Hughes and Zadorov are perfect in the back end. Then you have JT Miller, who's been outstanding in these playoffs. So you have, as a forward, I would argue, I don't even know who else has been playing super good for Vancouver as a forward. I couldn't name them right off the top of my head. Let me double check.
Was that JT Miller and Besser?
Besser.
Besser.
Dakota Joshua's gotten there early in the series. Connor Garland's been in and around the puck a lot as well.
Yeah. Well, Giuseppe had a good game last game. But
Giuseppe Krakowski?
If I can...
I don't know. You just gotta... I don't know. He just needs to wake up. I don't know. I think he's got to take a page out of Pasternak's book, because his coach called him out for Game 7. Jim Montgomery called him out for Game 7 against the Leafs, and what did he do? Scored the overtime winner.
2 different players
that make around the same money.
Okay. There's two different play styles, though.
I guess, but...
I'm looking at Elias Pettersson's Hockey DB. This season, 82 games, 34 goals, and 55 assists. He's not a goal scorer.
Yeah, but he's
an
been
assist
practically invisible on the ice. He's a -1 in these playoffs. If he's not, even
4
if he's,
assists. I do agree. He's got to do a little bit better.
He's got to do better, but his role on the team isn't scoring.
No, but
but he needs more assists.
He needs to make himself more of a lethal presence. I feel like you have Brock Besser as this season's goal scorer. You have JT Miller, who's been one of your all-around better players. You have Quinn Hughes, who just has been your best defenseman and arguably probably the best Canuck this year. But Pettersson's been looking at his last 5 games against Edmonton. He had 1 point in the last game. He had 1 point in the second game he played against Edmonton, and that's all he's done. He has not been. I don't know. I feel like he needs to step up a bit for Vancouver. Obviously, they're still doing everything right by winning these games, but I feel they would be in a much better situation if he would step up as the player everyone kind of knows him for.
Yeah, Edmonton. I think Edmonton's going to come back with a vengeance after that heartbreaker.
They're going back to Edmonton.
Edmonton in 7.
Edmonton in 7.
Yep.
I have Vancouver in 6. I think.
I'm going to say Vancouver in 7. I think Edmonton blows the doors off of Vancouver in Game 6, and then
it'll be interesting.
I'm not. Yeah, I think.
I don't think they're going to be dominant.
I say blow the doors off. Every game from this series has been a 1-goal difference, but I think heading into tomorrow, I think it's going to be. Again, I say blow the doors off, so it's probably going to be a 2 or 3 goal difference, I think. And then in Edmonton's favor tomorrow, and then they're going to play on Monday, going back to Vancouver. I just have more faith in Vancouver's consistency.
Fair enough. I think we're yet to see McDavid do McDavid things this playoffs, and he's going to do it eventually.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't. I can't recall a major McDavid play in his series against LA.
No.
And especially in the series either. He's been.
I mean, he's been
there. Yeah, he's doing things.
But he hasn't been doing McDavid.
He has 2 goals.
He's a McDavid thing.
He has 2 goals and 16 assists. Oh,
he's only got 2 goals.
He's helping out a lot.
I mean,
That
16 assists is insane.
Yeah.
But I think,
I
think-
you got the backdoor merchant in Zach Hyman. Just
yeah, the guy who just sits there and scores a ton of goals. But I think we're going to see McDavid things in the next 2 games. Edmonton 7.
Shaq Hyman. He has 11 points. He has 9 goals, 2 assists.
And how many of those are from McDavid?
Probably majority
Like
of
I
them.
would say 8.
90% of it?
Yeah.
I will determine that if you give me some time.
Sure.
Sure. Where are we going next?
Uh,
My Rangers Edmonton final is looking decent, except now I'm starting to think Edmonton might not make it past Dallas.
My Dallas final looking good.
yeah.
Dallas
is-
Rangers, I think, might be the final.
In Dallas Rangers. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's gonna be way too hard to figure out for assists and that. I have to go through every game, so I don't have time for that.
Fair.
He had 5 points in the first game against LA though. McDavid did so.
Staying in the Pacific, but moving to a signing that happened after our show, I believe, on Wednesday. Former Flames goaltender David Rittich has signed a 1-year deal in LA for $1 million.
Big save, Dave.
Big save, Dave.
Big save, David getting a
Great guy.
yeah. He's a backup.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically backup money. If I was to pull up his stats here real quick, because I should have done it before.
He does a lot of good stuff off the ice as well.
Yeah, so he started this past season in the AHL. And then once he was called up to the main roster, he played 24 games and received a 91 save percentage and a 215 goals against, which isn't anything to scoff at, really.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
We like David Rittich in this place.
I miss him. I miss him a little bit. He wasn't overly consistent in Calgary, but
Oh, no, not at all.
I liked him. Never hated him.
He's a very good friend of the superheroes, the hockey superheroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because his son or brother has either autism or Down syndrome. So he's very engaged in
Brother.
Brother has one of the two.
Autism.
Autism. There we go. So especially when he was in Calgary, he was very engaged with the superheroes here in Calgary. And even now that he's not, he still keeps in contact with a few of the kids, especially the goalies. There's one. His name's Noah. He's one of the superhero kids, and he's on like a text basis with David Rittich just because they're so close.
That's pretty cool.
That is actually
And
cool.
so, like when the Flames played the Kings, it was the game I went to a few months ago, or maybe not a few months ago. Whenever I went to the one game I went to.
Whenever.
Yeah, Noah was there with his Rittich jersey on, even though Rittich didn't play.
Nice.
So yeah, Rittich does a lot of great things for the community.
If we can move to kind of sadder news from Wednesday and heading into Thursday.
Yes.
TSN SportsCentre broadcasting legend, I would say, Darren Dutchyshen sadly passed away from prostate cancer at 57.
Yeah.
Here's my chat. Like
He was a bunch of people. Like,
every top 10, he'd just be there.
yeah, I don't think you can call yourself a sports fan if you don't know Darren Dutchyshen's name.
No, and I think if you kept up a lot of TSN people, like notable names of James Duthie, Bob McKenzie, Jennifer
Hedger.
and then I'm blanking on one. Kate Burness, that's her name. They've all shared their condolences. Jamie Alexiak of the IIHF Team Canada spoke out about that, saying that the team is with his family, and hope that everything will hope that he will be remembered in a positive light. I think all of us remember him just from, or at least my perspective of him was all of his top 10s on YouTube, or waking up early morning as a kid just to watch those highlights that you missed when you went to sleep early.
Yeah, definitely the Olympics as well.
Yeah.
If I spent the past couple days kind of watching TSN videos.
Apparently,
and
he was also married to Kate Burness.
Oh,
I don't
I
know.
can just see that on,
Yeah.
on the Wikipedia.
I can see why that affects her a lot now. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I was watching a bunch of TSN videos over the past couple of days about, Darren and a bunch of stories from him. I would encourage anyone who watched Darren on TV to go watch them. A bunch of funny stories from, the first hour of Overdrive, or the 16-minute tribute that Rod Smith, Jennifer Hedger, and James Duthie did on him last night as well. But it's weird because when I first think about Darren Dutchyshen, my first thought goes to he was on an episode of Corner Gas for like 15, 20 seconds.
I never watched Corner Gas.
My dad had I think the first season on DVD, so I'd always watch it. And Shock and I'd always only watch the hockey episode one.
Yeah.
And he's featured in the end of that hockey episode one, so that's where my brain first goes to whenever I think about Darren Dutchyshen. But yeah, I just want to take a couple minutes out of the show just to
absolutely
acknowledge.
That's two big
57
broadcasters.
is young.
That's young, but that's two like huge broadcasters that we've lost in this season already. Darren, and then
You'll get there.
the day we had JJ on the show.
Oh, Bob Cole.
Bob Cole.
Okay.
Two big ones.
Yeah.
I knew it was Bob. I just couldn't remember the last name.
Yeah.
We can all collectively agree F cancer,
Yes.
obviously.
Yep.
We can all agree to
I
that.
think just gotta hope that his family's gonna be okay, and that I think TSM will not be the same without him.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yeah, just have to acknowledge that, just because I want to acknowledge off the top, but I very quickly lost control of the intro.
Yeah.
I also feel like it
kinda went
hurts a
off
little.
there, sorry.
Hurts, or it sits with us a little differently. Partly because we grew up watching him, but partly because we're trying to get into his field. So it's not necessarily like you connect to him better or differently. It's just
He's one of the greats.
it's you acknowledge that a little bit more when you've kind of learned more about what he's
What
been
he
doing.
does, yeah.
Because he was a broadcaster. We're all aspiring to be broadcasters.
Yeah.
And I think with that, even with Bob Cole as well, you kind of feel a little bit more grateful of what they did to what we want to do in the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
well put.
I'm not sure about you guys, but I just have this kind of like running short list of people who I ideally would want to interview if given the chance, and Darren was definitely on that short list.
I think broadcaster-wise, Doc Emmerich and Ray Ferraro. I think those are pretty big ones.
Doc's on mine.
Could try and get Kelly.
Yeah, I
Follows
could
me
try.
on Instagram.
There's also someone who I'm not going to say who they are because they kind of left me on red. Or not even left me on red, they just didn't even read my email or my messages yet. But I'm gonna message them on one more social media platform just to see if they respond, and hopefully they can come on the show.
Maybe I'll send Kelly a text.
Sure. Yeah.
I'll see if he's still following me on Instagram first.
Yeah. But Darren Dutchyshen, rest in peace.
Absolutely.
He'll be missed by
Everyone.
everyone. It sucks, but we have to move off that because we have about 25 minutes left of the show here. The Bill Masterton Trophy winner has been announced.
Connor Ingram.
Yeah.
Not
And
Shillington.
I did see a meme, not in any bad taste, but that is the last trophy Arizona will win for a very long time.
ouch.
Ouch.
That's
Ouch. Hey, at least they won one. At least they got a trophy.
yeah.
How many other trophies has Arizona gotten? Because they didn't win a cup.
They made the conference final, but they didn't
That doesn't-
win
that doesn't
it.
count. Yeah. They never won the President's
Never
Trophy.
won the President's Trophy.
Has any other players ever won like the Hart or the Ted Lindsay? I don't think so.
I think Solani got the Calder when he was with the Jets, and then the Jets moved to Arizona, so then they have credit for that.
It doesn't count. That's the Jets.
Keller didn't win the. I don't think he won the Calder.
Rookie of the Year, Dale Hawerchuk, Timu Solani. General Manager of the Year, Don Maloney.
Don Maloney, more like Don Baloney.
Got him.
Got him.
Mark Messier Leadership Award, Shane Doan, 2011, 2012.
Oh, okay. So it's
Most
not
of
the
their
Lonely
awards,
Trophy.
ironically, are coming from when they were in the WHA. Playoff MVP, the Gordie Howe Trophy, which was the MVP of the WHA at the time.
What is the WHA?
That was a former.
Basically, they're
like
basically really old
competitor?
NHL.
Oh,
That's
okay.
where Gretzky played, because he could play when he was really, really young. Younger than 18, he played in that league, and then when the WHA went and combined with the
so
the
it
NHL,
was like a competition, competitor league.
So
to
that's
the
why
NHL.
there's funny jokes where it's like Wayne Gretzky's the greatest undrafted player of all time, purely because he was actually technically never drafted. He was just his rights were immediately given to Edmonton.
Huh.
And Clayton Keller finished third in Calder voting in his year,
Huh.
behind Besser and Barzal.
Who won that year?
Barzal. The top
Zoom in on that.
the top five were Barzal, Besser, Keller, Cal Connor, and Charlie McAvoy.
Interesting. It's a good role. Good
I don't
role.
like the Islanders.
No one
Really,
likes the Islanders.
you don't let it show.
It's just
No one
boring.
likes the
Dude, it's just
Islanders.
boring hockey. It's
No one
boring.
likes the Islanders.
It's just boring.
All right, are we gonna let Merrick have an attempt
I'm
at
gonna
this?
throw over to Merrick.
Let him give it
Well-
a shot, because I've got something ready to go. If you
Well, funny that you say, let's give it a shot. If you have some Jägermeister at home, and you're a Moose Jaw Warriors fan,
11:15 in the morning.
you're feeling pretty good. Hey, they could be listening to this at night. You're feeling pretty good as the Moose Jaw Warriors have swept the Portland Winterhawks. I almost said Trailblazers. Ooh.
Actually, that
to
series is
win-
crazy too.
To win
Basketball, but
the
that's crazy. That's a crazy series.
to win their
too.
first ever WHL championship
Yes.
in
First. Do
history.
you know what the trophy's called?
New.
Boom. I win.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Dude, I literally only care because of that prospect.
Well, they won the championship. You should know what the trophy's called. The trophy's called the Ed Chenoweth Cup.
Yeah, I could not have guessed that.
Chenoweth Cup.
And then they go and play for the Memorial Cup.
Yeah, and first time in a CHL history, there was 3 sweeps in the finals.
Yes. So I can take it from there if you'd like.
All I know is the London Knights. Whoa.
Yes.
They're never not whoa.
They're never not.
Yeah,
They're
but-
never not
But
low.
dude, did you see the scores in the final? The final game ended 7-2, I think.
Yes. Yes, for the first, it's not just the final game too.
Oh
for
my
the first,
gosh.
For the first time in CHL history, all 3 leagues, that's the OHL, the QM, JHL, and the WHL, ended in sweeps in the final.
Dude.
Not just sweeps in the case of the OHL, as Merrick is reacting to right now. It was the London Knights versus the Oshawa Generals. Game 1, London 8, Oshawa 1.
Yeah, that's what I
Game
figured.
2, London 9, Oshawa 1. Game 3, London 7, Oshawa 6 in double overtime. So that they almost made it. They almost didn't get swept. That was good. And then Game 4, London 7, Oshawa 1.
I just want to explain something. So, the Oshawa Generals had 2, 8, 9 goals total, right? 8 plus 9 plus 7 plus 7. So there was 9 goals to the London Knights' 31.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So that was
Wow.
crazy. Also, looking at the QMJHL, the Drummondville Voltigeurs defeat, oh my God, Baie-Comio? Where is that? The Drakkar. QMJ, get better names. Come on. I guess they're French, so. So there's that. So we have the Voltigeurs, we'll have the Moose Jaw Warriors, we'll have the London Knights, and then we'll have Saginaw.
Yeah, so Saginaw hosting.
And,
Why?
So the Memorial Cup.
An American team hosting a CHL tournament.
The Saginaw Spirit are hosting the Canadian Hockey League Championships.
I just wanna
What is happening?
I also want to say.
Saginaw is not in Canada. Come on.
Just also want to say for the viewers, it starts May 24th and ends June 2nd.
And I thought Saginaw was going to be in some trouble here because Saginaw obviously they're going up against 3 teams that decidedly swept the finals. But I'm actually looking at Saginaw. They made the OHL playoffs. They beat Owen Sound 4-0, and then they played whatever team that is. The Greyhounds. I'm not sure where that is.
The Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds.
Oh, okay. The Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds. They beat them, and then they got beat 4-2 by the London Knights. So they put up a better fight against London than Oshawa.
Yeah, they made it to the
Oshawa
semifinals.
did. So I think the Memorial Cup might be pretty exciting. Unfortunately, Merrick, WHL. Actually, I was going to say WHL teams don't have a great great history, but Seattle won it. The Oil Kings won it.
Yeah.
So I'm dumb, is what I'm saying. Anyway,
There's games every day.
Saginaw, Michigan. You are not in Canada. Why are you hosting the CHL championships?
There's games every day, but from May 24th to May 31st. There is a one game a day. 24th, you have Moose Jaw that plays against Saginaw. The 25th, you have London Knights versus, I don't know that team.
Drummondville. Voltigeurs.
And then you have the 26th, Saginaw versus Drummondville. May 27th is London versus Moose Jaw. 28th is Drummondville versus Moose Jaw. And then the final game is Saginaw versus the London Knights. And then May 30th, there's a tiebreaker if needed. And then there's a semifinal and a final. And so
early predictions.
every team makes the semifinal.
Yeah, well, there's only 4 teams.
Seems a bit. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to the Memorial Cup.
The
That's
first
just
game is
kinda
just
how
round
it
robin stuff.
Yeah,
I know that,
placing.
but I don't know. It just seems a little weird. I guess I'm assuming 1 plays 4, 2 plays 3 for
Yeah.
semis. Yeah. So Moose Jaw.
So I'm going to do this little prediction in my head here.
Moose Jaw's winning
1v4.
it. I'm not biased.
Moose Jaw's not winning it.
I'm not biased.
1v4. So it's going to be Knights versus Saginaw, and then it's going to be Drummondville versus Moose Jaw. Moose Jaw make the final. The final is going to be Knights versus Moose Jaw.
Who the
Knights are going to win. That's my prediction.
There are 2 teams in this Memorial Cup who have not made an appearance in the Memorial Cup before.
What's that? Moose Jaw and Saginaw?
Moose Jaw and Saginaw have not made an
Well,
appearance.
Saginaw doesn't deserve to be there anyway because
feel like-
they're in the States.
I think some notable names, or a notable name, is Easton Cowan. He won the Wayne Gretzky Award, which is the MVP for the QMJHL. Did I get that right?
OHL.
OHL.
Oh,
He's on London Knights. Yeah.
He is a prospect of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and then similar players or players on his team that have been drafted are Casper Halutin. I guarantee you I'm saying all these names wrong. To a San Jose prospect.
Bummer.
Jacob Julian, a Winnipeg prospect. Caleb Lawrence with the Kings. Max McHugh, he is with San Jose. Denver Barkley, he is with the Philadelphia Flyers. Barkey. Landon Sim, he's with the St. Louis Blues. Whoa, that's a name. Henry
Brzyczowicz?
Yeah. He's with Ottawa.
Bruce Dewich. Or Brucevic, sorry.
Isaiah George
cow.
with the Islanders. Oliver Bonk. Love it.
Oliver Bonk.
He is with Philadelphia.
We love Oliver Bonk.
We do.
Jackson Edward is with Boston. I feel like we should just see who, all the other teams' prospects.
These
it's pretty valuable.
These games are going to be fun to watch. These are going to be worth watching.
If I can take a couple minutes to focus on Philly for a little bit. In the playoffs, Denver Barkey, 18 games, 6 goals, 21 points for 27 points, for 21 assists for 27 points in 18 games. And Oliver Bonk, defenseman, 18 games, 7 goals, 9 assists for 16 points.
Absolutely.
I cannot wait until Bonk makes the roster.
Usually TSN has.
Because that's just a slew of memes whenever he scores.
Oh yeah.
Just bonk. Yeah.
Usually I might be wrong here, but usually TSN shows the games.
Oh yeah.
Maybe they won't because they're being held in the States for some reason.
I imagine they will.
I don't know who decides that.
Probably TSN.
Probably the States.
NHL players or prospects that are on
Moose Jaw, we know. We got Jaeger Furcus
from Seattle, Brendan Yeager from Pittsburgh,
Savoy.
Denton Matinchuk from Columbus, Matthew Savoy from Buffalo, Martin Rivsai from Columbus as well, Keelan Parker from Minnesota Wild, Port from the Ducks. I don't even want to try to say your last name. That's it for them. Again, going back to Phil's point, throughout all these shows, these websites are terrible.
Yeah.
They don't tell me who's actually drafted.
No, it's true. The websites are still terrible.
What bet do you want?
Saginaw.
He's not done.
I'm
Not done
so
saying not yet.
angry. I'm so, like, the United States, and this is true, is not, part of Canada.
That's true.
They almost were back in 1812, but that was a long time ago.
Okay.
And it was before Saginaw was even a hockey
I got Saginaw's NHL roster.
Zane Perrick is on there.
Joey Willis on Nashville. Josh Bloom. God,
Oh,
this
yeah,
person-
but he's a fourth-round pick. Fourth-round picks.
he still made the NHL. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, he's going to play.
Josh Bloom, Buffalo. Matthias Sapp, Vegas.
Sapovaliv.
Yep. Hunter Height, Minnesota.
Oh, yeah, Owen Beck. How did we forget
Montreal.
about Owen Beck.
Ethan Hang, or Hey Ethan. Nah. Tampa. I'm funny.
That was a good one.
Braden Hash from Florida. Jordan Donovan from Ottawa, and Rodwin Doinico on Anaheim.
Dynaco.
And Nolan Landon.
Saginaw's out here
Is Columbus.
smoozing Dynaco. My Dynaco.
I gotta get to California.
Now I just need to find the last team.
Also worth knowing before we move out for Saginaw, Zane Perrick.
What's the 4 teams? Saginaw, Moose Jaw, London Knights. What's the other one?
Drummondville.
Thank you.
2024 NHL draft prospect Zane Perrick, who is, by all accounts, going to be top 5, top 10 probably, is also part of Saginaw as well.
And you know what Saginaw's not a part of?
Canada.
You know what the C in CHL stands for? Canada.
Oh, Canadian, but
Yeah,
sure.
whatever.
I hate to split hairs on you, but it is Canadian.
Finally.
But Saginaw's not Canadian.
No, it's not.
What my point
And
is.
the last but not least, Drummondville's. They have Michael Deontay. He plays prospect for the Devils.
Holy cow! What a hockey name, Maverick Lamoureux.
He
That's
plays for
crazy.
Arizona.
God.
Veselad Komarov.
Komarov.
He's Russian.
Buffalo. Really? He's
Ethan
Russian? That's crazy. Who'd have
Ethan
thought?
Gauthier, Tampa, and
Another
Alex
Flyers guy.
Genderon.
Alex Generon.
Philadelphia. So no players from Calgary. Three players from Philadelphia. 3, and then 1 Penguins prospect.
That's not bad.
So who are you guys cheering for? Because everyone knows, I think it's pretty clear who I'm cheering for.
Well, as someone who's a big fan of the WHL in general, I'm also going to cheer for Moose Jaw.
Yeah.
I don't think Moose Jaw will win it, but like I said,
Hey.
they'll make the final.
London.
London's going to win, for sure. Absolutely.
Two Flyers prospects on that team. I'm going for London.
Yeah. I think I'm going to definitely try and watch these games. It's going to be crazy, even though it's in Saginaw, and Saginaw's not in Canada.
All the games are running.
You're trying to get that in
I'm
as you
going to
can,
die on
aren't
that
you?
hill. I'm going to die
Every
on that
game
hill.
except one is at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Only difference is on May 25th. The London Knights. That game is at 4 p.m. Eastern.
That's a Saturday.
So
First game's
there you go.
the 24th. Anyway.
Got some good prospects that will come into the NHL. Savoy, Jaeger.
Does the U.S. have like a junior hockey league? They must.
Yeah, it's in the NCAA.
What?
Yeah, well, that's
it's the
college stuff,
NCAA.
though.
So
That's
Saginaw is
still-
just
but that's basically
doesn't have a
this.
college.
Yeah, but you also have to be.
No, this is not college level.
No, it's not.
No, but this is
The
like.
oldest you can be in this league is 20 years
No,
old.
yeah, no. NCAA is youth sports.
Oh, okay.
But,
But
like,
like,
what
if you
would
had
the
to, if you
American
had to
equivalent
make
be?
a comparison, it would be the NCAA.
No, I'm sure there's another one.
They just have like a national development program.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily like.
Make your own junior league so that you guys can't steal our CHL championship and host it in the States. Stupid. Yeah, Canada,
Where's Moose Jaw?
Saskatchewan.
I thought I'd get you there. I thought you were gonna say Alberta.
No.
No, yeah, the
I do get Moose Jaw and Medicine
Where
Hat
are the
mixed up
London
quite a
Knights?
bit. Ontario.
I thought you were gonna say London. That would be pretty funny.
London, England.
I mean,
Actually,
they're
yeah,
technically
London, England, and this
Yeah.
is true, is also not in Canada. So London Knights, you're no, I'm kidding.
Actually,
I know there's London,
thank you for
Ontario.
reminding
why,
me.
Yeah, why are you in England? Why do we have an England team playing in it? No.
What
Alrighty.
a stupid travel
I think-
plan.
Yeah,
I
it's like
think-
going to Honolulu.
I think we're gonna leave that and head over to the Czech Republic.
What? Oh,
With the double
yeah, the World
IIHF.
Championships. Oh, yeah. People are watching that.
Denmark.
We
This is-
saw that game on the TV while we were walking in, and I'm like, I'm sure like 7 people are watching this.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So on the, what's the date today? 17th?
17th.
So 16th, USA won 5-0 against France. Alex Nedeljkovic posted a nice solid 10-save shutout.
Do we have a playoff bracket yet?
Austria won. They beat the Finns 3-2, and I believe they scored with like 0.5-ish or something like that seconds left.
That's pretty impressive.
Sweden beat Kazakhstan 3-1, and Canada defeated Norway 4-1, which those goals were scored by Jared McCann, Dylan Cousins, Andrew Mangiapane, and Brandon Tanev.
Andrew Mangiapane. I don't think we have a bracket yet.
No, we don't.
Just looking at the stats here.
Although it looks like Germany smoked Kazakhstan.
So just looking at some
Germany's
of
gonna
the
be in the playoffs.
looking at some of the stats here, leading in scoring, so just points in general, is
Roman Yossi for Switzerland.
Connor
That's
Bedard-
huge for Switzerland.
Connor Bedard is 5th. Actually 6th. There's another Swiss player is Nico Hischier, Matt Boldy.
Huge for Switzerland.
Goals, Oliver Kapanen from Finland is leading the tournament in goals. I don't know who he is. I don't want to be rude.
He's from a.
Don't say he's from Finland. He's playing for Finland.
He's from a Finnish club. He's not in the
I get it.
NHL.
Connor Bedard is 2nd in the tournament in goals.
Surprise, surprise.
3rd is Nico Hischier.
Nico Hischier. He sounds like he should have been a skier. That sounds like a skier name.
Goalie wise,
It does, doesn't it?
the top goaltender is
Not Canada. Samuel Hlav.
something like that. With
Hlavage?
he has 1 shutout, 93.65 save percentage, and a 1.94 goals against. Sweden's goalies are 3rd and 4th respectively. Philip Gustafsson and Samuel Ersson.
Surprised to see Lucas Dostal is an NHL goalie. isn't he?
If we
He
just
is.
keep
Oh,
Grubauer's there too.
Holy cow! Here's some notable names that are better than Jordan Binnington this season. Henrik Halukiland,
Yep.
Sebastian Yolin, Frederick Jachow,
Jackson Whistle from Great
Philip
Britain.
Grubauer.
Andriy Shutov
I
from
also-
Kazakhstan.
Jackson Whistle's a skiing name.
Jordan
Kazakhstan-
Bennington is down at 17
He's
out of
considered-
18th.
Yeah.
The second worst
Where's
goalie.
Nedeljkovic? Oh, he's not here. I thought Nedeljkovic would be
That's
good.
crazy.
Team stats. Scoring efficiency. Austria has the best. Best power play is Germany with 55%. Best
So far, we're
penalty
only halfway
kill-
through the tournament.
Whoa. Best penalty kill is a 3-way tie in Finland, Sweden, and the United States. No team has scored on them during the power play. Goals allowed. Finland has the least goals allowed, it's looking like. Penalties. Latvia. Whoa. 57 penalty minutes.
Holy cow.
Attendance. This is an interesting stat.
Well, obviously
Czechia first.
and Finland
For
makes sense.
obviously. Last
obviously.
is France, averaging around
For
7,000.
Obviously.
Sweden is the second last team in average attendance, which is quite interesting, as I believe they are leading their group. I want to say.
No way they're beating the States.
Well, have you seen this team? Adrian Kempe, Eriksson Ek, Lucas Raymond, Marcus Pedersen, Philip Gustafsson, Eric Carlson,
Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough.
Victor Hedman.
Yeah, fair enough.
So the tournament starts on the Thursday after our next show.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
okay. So will we have a bracket?
We should. Yeah.
Let's go.
Because the last day of prelim games is on the 21st. We have a show on
how
the
do-
22nd, and then the
How
tournament
do
starts on
playoffs work?
the 21st. Simple, just
Top 4 teams from each.
So 2 hockey teams play each other.
Well, no, really. I'm
and then the
saying,
winner of a series of
I'm-
a set amount of games move on to.
it's 4 from each pool.
I'm sorry.
4 from each team.
4
Or
from each pool.
group.
Yeah.
So from Group A, it's looking like.
Well, there's still
Canada.
lots of games to go. We can't make this call yet.
Yeah.
True, but if it were to end right now, it would be in Group A: Canada, Switzerland, Czechia, and Finland. From Group B, it'd be Sweden,
Slovakia.
Germany, Slovakia, and America.
That's
I don't
crazy.
think
Slovakia.
The states being fourth
I
is
think
ludicrous.
Sweden,
Especially with
is-
Germany and Slovakia in
Sweden
that
is
group.
pretty much untouchable as they've played the least amount of games, or the least amount of games is 4, and they have the most points with 12. They are 4-0. Canada is 3-1 with an overtime win.
So is Switzerland.
Goals for and against.
Yeah.
Canada's 10-20 for goals for and against, which is not the best. Sweden, on the other hand, is 19-5. So obviously they have good goaltending.
I didn't
cut
realize
straight to you.
That was great. I was just throwing my pen up in the air.
I think it's been good to watch some hockey. Obviously, we're Canadians. So.
Yes, I've definitely watched some of those games.
I
I have not
you
watched
kinda-
any of it, not gonna lie. Except
do-
for the clip of England versus Denmark we saw outside.
I do have a topic to close the show if we're done with international hockey.
Yeah, that's good. What are we closing with, Alex?
After our last show, Kyle Cushman of The Score put out an article saying that, by a quote from Rick Tocchet,
Ricochet.
Demko has improved immensely in the last 72 hours.
Is he gonna play
So-
tomorrow? Ooh. If he
No,
plays,
I'd
if he
hold him.
plays,
Silo's kind of been the reason there.
Well, okay,
In
so
it a little
here's
bit.
precisely why I want to save it for last. You probably start Silovs in game 6 and 7 regardless. Once you're in the conference final,
I think
do you go Demko?
Demko, you have to.
you're either playing, if Vancouver makes the third round, you're playing the team with the best depth in the playoffs, or
Yeah.
you're playing the team that has the most superstar talent in the playoffs.
However, I don't think
You could argue with
goaltending
the
is going to
Rangers.
be the reason that Dallas beats Vancouver.
What it's not going to be the reason?
Goaltending is not going to be the reason
No,
Dallas
depth
beats
is the
Vancouver.
reason Dallas
Depth and aggressiveness and hits and hard-hitting hockey is going to be why Dallas beats Vancouver.
I'd like to see Chris Tanev go deep.
I would love to see Chris Tanev, but also Lindholm and Zadorov.
Yeah.
You know, it would have been nice to see Hannafin go deep as well.
Little bit of flames sprinkling in the
Yeah.
in the conference final potentially.
There's like no former Penguin. Actually, no, there's a few on Vancouver.
Teddy Bluger,
Yeah.
KJ Smith, kinda.
What do you mean, kind of?
Teddy
He spent his
Bluger.
entire career in Pittsburgh.
No, but like he hasn't
I
played for the
guess.
Canucks. What I'm saying.
Well,
played a game.
Gensel. Gensel up until
Gwainsel.
on Rangers. There's Chad Ruido and Louis Domingue. I also just want to just jump back to the goalies for Canada.
Oh, we're back on this.
Yikers.
Yes, it is terrible.
Hoffer's posting a solid 2 goals against with an 86.67 save percentage. Nicholas Dawes has a 1 goal against with an 83.33 save percentage. And arguably what you would think is your best goaltender in Binnington has an 82.93 save percentage with a 3.49 goals against.
Holy cow! Imagine being what you should be.
And
Imagine
let's
being
keep in mind, one of these is a starter in the NHL.
Yeah,
one of these
that's
is a backup.
crazy.
Well, I was going to say that Hofer is stealing Benner's job in St. Louis in the NHL, and now he's stealing his job
in Czechia.
in Czechia now.
Who does Nicholas Dawes play for?
New Jersey.
Dawes.
That'll be
More like Jaws.
That'll be it for our show for Friday.
Absolutely.
By the time we come see you guys on Wednesday, we're gonna be into the conference final.
oh yeah, we are.
So
and we're gonna have a Canadian team in the conference final.
we are. Enjoy the end of round 2. Let's go Avalanche, Canucks, and
He's speaking for himself.
pick a team in
Yeah.
Florida, Boston.
He's speaking for himself.
And just once again, like every episode, a huge shout out to our man in the booth, Mr. Aiden Johnner. Again, all the cameras, all the audio. I don't know if we had much graphics today, but that's all right. Pittsburgh, he managed not to mention Pittsburgh that much.
Yeah.
Once, and it was warranted.
Thank you very
2
much,
times it was
Aiden
warranted.
Johnner, sacrificing your time to come listen to us
He's on the
talk
sh- he's on our
about
show now.
hockey. Yes.
Aiden, you have to learn some hockey now.
We'll get Aiden on.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay,
wait,
actually-
quick. If we go to an ODR, who's going to do better at skating, Aiden or me?
Aiden says Aiden.
Yeah, I think Aiden too.
Phil.
We're
Easily.
probably gonna. I'm thinking of doing a segment heading into the season next season Aiden has a question about hockey.
That's a great segment. I love that segment.
So-
well, let's start. Aiden, you have a question about hockey right now?
Well, no, we're out of time.
Doesn't matter. Ask one more. Ask one.
We'll save it for Wednesday.
We'll save it for Wednesday. Anyway, Merrick Robinson. That's
He's
it.
not going to do the
That's
thing.
it.
Dog,
You didn't
just-
say anything.
Oh yeah.
Just wave them off.
Okay, and Alex.
See you guys on Wednesday. Enjoy
Alex
the rest
is
of the
here
second
too.
round.